It was 1 a.m. when my phone rang. On the other end was my friend who was unable to sleep. She had a big interview coming up the next day, and her mind was racing with doubts. What if I mess this up? What if I don't get this job? What if I completely embarrass myself? She mentioned that she was lying in bed, overthinking everything, and no matter how exhausted she wasn't able to go to sleep. Maybe you have been there too. Your brain is running a marathon that you never signed up for in the first place. And that's called anxiety. The worst part, the more you try to stop it, the louder it gets. But here's the good news, there are so many ways to reduce that noise. So stick around, we'll definitely talk about tips for quick relief in this video. And the first thing I want you to understand is anxiety thrives on uncertainty. Ever had to rush to the restroom before a big event? Or maybe you have spent way too long writing a text before hitting send because you are worried what if they take it the wrong way? And when that reply doesn't come fast enough, the spiral begins. What if they are mad at me? Or what if they are ignoring me? And if you look closely, there is a pattern. It's always the what ifs that makes us anxious. Have you ever felt that you don't feel anxious on the things that you're certain of, or like you know the outcome for sure? If you know exactly how something will turn out, there's no room for overthinking. But the second there is an unknown factor, your brain goes into overdrive, scanning for danger. That's why speaking in front of strangers makes you nervous, but talking to close friends doesn't. It's why waiting on a grade, a text, or job interview results feels unbearable because there is an unknown in the outcome. Because you don't know the outcome, and your brain, it hates not knowing. I'll be making a separate video on reframing negative thoughts, so I won't dive really deep into that now. I want you to understand anxiety is not an illness, it's an emotion. It's just like happiness or anger, it's just a human emotion. It's your brain's natural response to uncertainty or danger, designed to keep you alert and prepared. Now, think of anxiety like a fire alarm inside your brain. Great when there's an actual fire, but it becomes exhausting when it keeps going off for something like your daily bread toast. Your brain is wired to detect threat, but sometimes it can't tell the difference between a real danger and a stressful scenario. That's why anxiety makes you feel like that something is wrong, even when you're actually safe. As you saw earlier, anxiety is your brain's way of perceiving danger, triggering a cycle of worry. Over time, this worrying becomes a habit, something you unintentionally practice until it becomes automatic. The good news, any habits can be broken, whether it's good or bad. And the first step is to reshape those thought patterns that actually fuel your anxiety. Now stop worrying about the results. This is something I tell all my friends who struggle with anxiety. The more you start worrying about the results, the more anxious and nervous you become because there is an unknown factor involved in it. Just stop caring less. Just be in the present and worry only about the factors that you can control. In this part, let's talk about the practical steps that you could take to make you feel less anxious in the longer run. The first thing is rewiring your thoughts. Let's start with your mind because anxiety is sneaky. It tricks you into believing everything is a threat even though it's not. That's where cognitive behavioral therapy comes in. It teaches you how to catch those thoughts, challenge them, and replace them with something more realistic. So every time you get a thought that makes you feel anxious, replace it with an exciting thought that you're looking forward to. It just sends a signal to your brain that it's safe and you will feel a lot less anxious. Now, step 2, move your body. This is like the most important and the easiest technique of all. The more you move your body, the less anxious you're going to feel. I don't mean you need to spend hours in the gym or running a marathon, but get your body moving. Whether it's stretching, walking, or even dancing in your kitchen, it literally burns off the excess stress hormones. Exercise doesn't just change your body, it actually changes your brain. It increases endorphins, the natural mood boosters, and over time, it helps regulate the amygdala, the part of your brain that's actually responsible for fear. The more you move, the less anxiety has a grip on you. Third tip, staying in the present. And this is my favorite of all. Anxiety pulls you into the past of what you said something to someone, or it drags you into the future, making you stress about the things that hasn't even happened yet. And here's the thing, anxiety can't control you in one place, and that's the present moment. So always be in the present. That's why mindfulness and meditation are so powerful, because they are the techniques that make you aware of your surroundings and bring you to the present. They train your brain to stay here instead of ruminating on what ifs. You don't need to be a monk or sit cross legged for hours. Just take 60 seconds, breathe, focus on your surroundings, pay attention to all the noises that's happening around you, pay attention to the smell. The more you do this, the more you feel in the present and the more you gain control over your thoughts. The next thing, sleep. Now let's see how anxiety has a role in sleep. Let's be real. Anxiety and sleep has a major beef. So when you don't sleep well, you feel more anxious, and if you feel more anxious, you don't sleep well. It's a vicious cycle, but you can break it. Start by treating sleep like a ritual. No screens before the bed, cut caffeine, keep a consistent schedule. Your brain wants a routine, and when you get good sleep, you feel less anxious. Everything else, your mood, your energy, and your ability to handle stress gets better. The next thing, facing what you fear. Here's the truth that most people don't like to hear. Avoiding what makes you feel anxious only makes anxiety worse. The more you run from it, the stronger it gets. That's why exposure therapy is so powerful. It's not about jumping into your biggest fear all at once. It's about taking small, controlled steps. If social anxiety keeps you talking from strangers, start by doing small talk with the cashier. If you're scared or anxious about driving, take short trips around your neighborhood. Every time you face fear, you teach your brain that it's not as dangerous as it seems. The next thing, surrounding yourself with the right people who understand you, whether it's a friend, a therapist, or an online community, can make a huge difference. It just gives you that feeling you're not alone. Trust me, everybody in their life goes through anxiety. It's only the levels that varies between people, because anxiety is an emotion again. Talking about your anxiety doesn't make you weak. It makes you strong enough to face it. And when you realize you're not alone, anxiety starts losing its power. The next thing is journaling. Journaling the what ifs. Writing down anxious thoughts can externalize worries and reduce their intensity. Journaling is often incorporated into mindfulness based stress reduction techniques to help individuals process and manage anxiety. And the last technique is avoiding caffeine. I don't drink tea or coffee, so I just have to be the bearer of the bad news for all the people who drink coffee. Reduce your caffeine levels and you will feel less anxious. That's because caffeine mimics anxiety. It increases your heart rate and does a lot more chemical things, which makes you feel more anxious. And I would like to conclude. Now remember, anxiety doesn't define you. It's just a feeling, and feelings pass. You are stronger than your anxiety, and it's okay to feel anxious. And now you have the tools to help you with it. Keep growing and spread positivity. Cheers.